Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. And it's 11:11. That means fill your basket and check out. Well, no, not quite, because it ends, I think, midnight on the 12th. So it's kind of like you have 24 hours to do it. So don't forget to collect all your coupons. So I'm up this morning with surprise creation and a new design team haul, and I've managed to make 2 projects, and we've got new dies from surprise creation, new dies from Nicole, and a couple of new dies from me. Right, let's get stuck in. And first up is a double set of slimlines. So you've got that gorgeous sort of like lace broderie anglaise edge on that one. And then you've got the pierced dots on this one. These two going very nicely together because you can sew into this one and then lay it on top of your lace. So if you like to do a bit of shabby chic and sewing and romantic stuff, that's a beautiful set. And surprise creation slimlines are always the same size, 8 inches, and then let's get the width on that one, by 3.5 inches. And then these ones will be exactly the same size again, but we've got a sort of like curved, and we've got a notched rectangle. That's an absolutely gorgeous one, isn't it, for cutting frames and doing your cute critters. So that's a double set again. And then next up we have, I call these notch squares. I'm pretty sure that there might be some kind of geometric classification for them, but I don't know what it is, but they're lovely. And that is those. That's a square set. All of the holes remain the same size, and once again you can stitch into these. So the size of those is 6 inches square. And then we have the rectangle sort of like notched edge version. Once again, super easy to sew into. These will fit baker's twine and wool. And the largest is 7 inches. And then on the width of that, 5 inches. And then we have another one. I'm going to call that a lozenge, because it kind of, I don't know, what's the name of that stone, the ruby? Is it cushion cut or pillow cut or something? Reminds me of that shape. Right, we are 8 inches, and then spinning that around, we are at 6.5 inches. These are great sizes for making mini albums and books and envelopes, because you can always find different ways of folding them. But if you look in the middle here, you'll see you've got a double stitched that will go with your circle stitch, so you're kind of like getting 2 for the price of 1. That one's all the same. I'm making sure that I'm not confusing anything. Yeah, that's round stitch, that's round stitch. This one is round stitch, and also giving you the double stitch rectangle, which gives you an inner and outer stitch to the aperture and the bit that drops out. Right, next up, and once again, I don't know what you call that shape, but I just know that I like it. And we've got dots again and a very fine scallop edge, and that is 7.25 inches, and I'm pretty sure it's the same there. Yes, it is 7.25 inches. And then we've got another one, which is that kind of like cushion cut stone, and we've got stitching around the edges, and then we've also got the double in out stitch for the centerpieces. It's quite nice actually to have a set like that. That's 7.25 again, and this one 7.25. And then we're coming up with that shape again. Someone's going to have to tell me what they call that shape. I haven't got a clue, but that one is stitched all around, and we're looking at 7.25 and 7.25. And then we're going into another one. This one is the loopy with the holes, so it's got that lovely scallop loop that's pierced. And once again, we are 7.25 by, let's have a look at that, 7.25. So that's for those. And then Surprise Creation has done some new tags, and they are huge. Aren't they gorgeous? Those would make really, really great book spines, you know, mini album spines. and that is 6 3/4 inches high, and we're going across here 4.5 inches wide. And I am going to be up again in a couple of hours with another video. Yeah, I know, my throat, if it will last, and it will be an MX Art project share. So I think I'm going to use the new tags for the backgrounds for what I'm going to do for MX Art. And then there's this set of tags, and that is just under, hang on, let me get that correct, that's 4 1/8 on its widest one, and then we are looking at 6.5. So really, really lovely. Love that little one in the middle as well. And of course you've got your little hole makers. That's a good word, isn't it? A hole maker. That's what I'm going to call it. Makes a hole. Right. And then next up we have Nicole's designs. And this is a dear little deer. And it makes a bow with deer antlers. Now, anything that I'm sort of not making this week because of the size and the quantity of the hauls, I'll be doing lots of projects next week. And of course, this is going to be on the list because I reckon this is just going to look fabulous once you pop your horns onto your bow, or your antlers, not horns, your antlers, to have a little red dot in the middle, you know, for Rudolph's red nose. So I think a little red enamel dot or something in the middle is going to look gorgeous with that. And of course they need to be made really to get the correct size. And then next up, and I have done this one, and I'll measure it made, and that is the many different hearts you've got there. And then you've got the base panel, which is a mini album. So you can use the top parts just for a card, and you've got the arrows as well. And the base part will turn everything into a mini album if that's what you want to make. Now those heart arrows are just a fraction over 4 1/4 inches. Right, next up we have some little cacti, and those are really, really cute. Look at the detail in that. I bet you could even cut those in felt and the design would come through. Really, really pretty. When you touch it, you just know you're going to get a great emboss. So I will be doing these next week. You've got the little plant pots because you've got 2 different sizes, and you've also got the label for the plant pot. So we'll be doing and measuring next week. Now these are easy enough to measure. This one is my design, and you've got a double set of candy canes because originally Surprise Creation did a double set, but she only had them going one way and she neglected to do the other one. So now we've got them going in both directions, and if you've got the original one and this size is different, I'm going to measure it. It's just over 2 3/4 inches for the large one, and then on the smaller one we have got 2 1/8 inch. No, that's not right. Yeah, it is 2 1/8 inch on the smaller one. So now we can have them going in different directions. We can have candy cane hearts, candy cane wreaths, and we can mix it all up. So that's that one. And then next up is the mitten that I made before, which I believe is slightly larger than this one. And this time we've got 2. We've got a left and we've got a right, which is great because if you like to cut stuff in felt, and I do, you can make some fabulous ornaments for your tree, or you can just double them up as a tag and put whatever you want to inside. Maybe you can have some candy canes spilling out, and it's going to hang on to the gift bag as an extra little treat. So 4 3/4 inches, and then if we go across the thumb piece here to the largest curve, 3 3/4 inches thumb to there. So it really is an awesome size. And then this bit is the cuff of the glove with the snowflakes that hang down, and then you've got spare snowflakes to pop on the finger section. Right, and next up, and I did this one as well, and you can see I've ripped it off the covering because she fixes everything down so nicely. And that is my cute little retro oven, and you double up the gas ring and the bar here, which creates the top part of the oven, and you cut 2 more, and then you've got the rail that you can hang your oven glove or your pot holder or your little kitchen towel. So that is the cooker, and I'll do the biggest part here, and it's 5 1/8 inch. And if we go to the width, we are at 3.5 inches. So that's how big the retro cooker is. Right, now, projects. First up is Nicole's. And I've used the Creative Path Gnome Ephemera on here, and I will link that below. This set's really, really popular, and I think it's at risk of selling out. But I used pink, yellow, and white and red because I just think they're a really happy combination. And it's just really cute. You've got that gorgeous stitch scallop edge. And as I said, you don't have to use the base. You can use the top parts on their own to make a sort of like Valentine pop-up card or whatever it is that you want to. And I just cut a couple of blank pages so that you can see. And I'm now going to measure this. So putting it all together nicely, I'm going to go from the edge to the edge, and it is 5.5 inches. And if I go point into the top curve, we're at 4 3/4 inches. So what a really, really cute size. And of course, once again, you know, hearts don't have to be for Valentine's Day. They can also be for birthdays and thank yous, because we love everybody every day of the week, not just on February the 14th. Right, so that is Nicole's. And next up is my little retro oven, and these book rings are from AliExpress, and I've still got the jar actually picking it up on my table, and I'll just keep them in a Dollar Tree jar, and they're just great. They come in different colours and you can get them in different sizes, but once again I will link those. And this is the little retro oven, and I use Dollar Tree foam boards to pop that up, and I'm sorry if my camera is going blurred. Try and get some clarity in there. And this vintage paper pack, which is, I think it's Cartabella, because you get all those wonderful pies, because you know me and pies. And I've just punched a hole. You don't have to do that. You can actually mount this onto a larger panel and make a bigger recipe book. I just used one of the stickers, but here we have the gas ring on the bar to sort of like separate the area of the vintage stove, and here the gas rings are just spun around the bar across, and you've got your little rail where you can hang your pot holders. But I've done this bit here, and all I've done is cut a couple of blank pages. I'm trying to separate them, no fingernails, just to show you that it's a great size. You get the word recipes in there too, which is this one. And this one I did as a shaker. So I've got hearts, and if you look closely in there, let's see if we can get in. Got all that ink on my fingers, dearie me. And I've got the pink and the yellow bullseyes sequins that was sent to me by Fancy, and I just thought they're really retro looking and suited this, so I popped those there. Right, that is what I've got for you right now, and I'll be back in a couple of hours. I'm just going to race off now and make them. Projects from MX Art. So I'm going to do something seriously cute and try to use some of the frames from Surprise Creation, so you'll get to see those too. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, all links below. Bye.